Game number 1, 30k against the Anti-Clown Association. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are again in our round robin, and we're currently nearing the end with 30k still being undefeated, not having lost a single map. It's the HGC 2024, the Hanzo Genji Cup. So, I have to share this with YouTube as well. So this is going to end up obviously on the YouTube video, but we had a joke that was so unbelievably bad in Twitch chat that I feel obliged to actually torture you guys with it too. So here's the thing. What do you call a guy without any knees? Tony. Get it? No? I didn't get it either. It's a horrible joke. It's absolutely atrocious. If anybody gets it, you can explain it to the rest in the comments. But yeah, horrible, horrible joke. And most of the people didn't even understand it after as it was explained 3 times. So yeah, YouTube, you are now also part of the gag, because we had to suffer through it on Twitch, and you have to suffer through it as well. So yeah. Oh damn! I screwed it up too. So you see, I can't even tell you. Okay, so it's a guy without shins and is called Tony. All right, whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. The joke is bad no matter what. Doesn't matter how you be quiet, all of you. So Infernal Shrines is our map. You see, the joke is so horrible that my subconscious brain was trying to spare you guys by just screwing it up. That was not even a mistake on my end. This was just me trying to spare all the YouTube viewers the pain. So yeah, that's how bad that joke is. That my subconscious kicks in because, like, dude, you can't do that. It's just too bad. Blaze as a first pick. Let's focus on the fun things here on the stream. Let's not blame the streamer. So we have Jojo banned out, and we got Diablo because we're on Infernal Shrines. So yeah. Rumors that I made a joke worse are obviously unfounded, because the joke is so unbelievably bad that you cannot make it worse. It's just not possible. So if anything, I improved on it. Q and his boys, by the way, they're playing today again with a sub. So they had Madara was missing on Saturday, now it's Sunday, and he's also not here, so he's gone for the entire weekend. Today Tremor is playing for them in place of Madara. We got immediately Maiev locked in for Cure, and then we get Hogger from Liam, as after the Blaze opening, the boys in red. What are we getting from them? I would honestly partly assume that we're going to get Sylvanas again. Roger so far has been locking in Sylvanas whenever he had an opportunity to do so. And there she is. Sylvanas made an appearance once more. So every single time that I see Malfurion taken by them, I'm also have that inkling that we might get Varian once more. I believe they played this exact combo with Varian just a few days ago. Variant Taunt, Blaze follow up with the stun. Obviously you're lacking some of the AoE that a couple of the tanks might provide you with if you're looking to dominate on the shrine a bit further. But if you are then able to get a quick taunt through, you could get quick kills. So might be something that they consider doing once again. 30k, still the big boss when we're talking about this tournament. They are undefeated, and I'm not just talking matches. These guys haven't lost a single map yet. So if they now win also against the Anti-Clown Association without losing a map, then they will have taken first seed in the round robin without losing even one. Now, just as a quick of a side note, we're down to the final 6 teams. 4 teams from North America, 2 teams from Europe. All of these matches are being played out on the North America server, so the Europeans are playing with a ping disadvantage. And in this case, it doesn't really make a difference since we don't have any on both of these teams. But it's kind of noteworthy. And then depending on your performance within the round robin, your seeding is going to be pretty advantageous going forward into the final phase of the tournament and the finals there. But as we're heading into our final rounds of draft number 1, we get Tychus for Odin, and we get Deckard Cain. So the old geezer is popping up over here, also for a bit of zone control, obviously, for Legacy. So with Brightwing banned, and Lucy also taken out, he decides this time to go for the old guy. And now the moment of truth, Varian or no Varian? Are they following up with the same MO that they showcased in some of the previous matches, or are they switching it up here? There's Varian, and we get Hanzo together with him. So, called it. And with that, we're going for Tremor, our sub-player for the day. The final choice for 30k as we're heading into game number 1 of this best of 3 series to find out if 30k can once again take the lead here, or if the Anti-Clown Association is throwing them a little bit of a curveball to take victory in game number 1, Infernal Shrines. Final pick, we need a bit more damage. Actually, we need a tank now that I'm looking at it. And we get Muradin. So, off we go. Muradin, the final weapon for 30k, as we're going into map number 1. 30k against the Anti-Clown Association, ladies and gentlemen. On the left side, the blue team with Cure on Maiev. We have Liam on Hogger, Caterpillar on Tychus. Legacy is playing Deckard Cain. And we have Tremor, the sub of the day, on Muradin. Kelsia on the right side of the map is playing Hanzo for the team. We get Valamar on Blaze for the Anti-Clown Association. Roger, as usual, on Sylvanas. Pretty much just go-to. Viriday on Malfurion with the Emerald Dreams, and Godfilth is played in Varian in game number 1. So, let's go and let's see what's going to happen here. Who's going to take victory in game number 1? Caterpillar already with one of the most disgusting mounts, and they are swapping things a little bit, as you can see. So they're not only playing with the sub today, but this also results in a role swap for them. Caterpillar, usually the main tank for the team, is now playing one of the damage dealers. And Tremor, who again is replacing Madara, is playing the frontline role with Muradin. So this is essentially a situation that we find ourselves in. A little bit of a handicap, obviously, therefore, for 30k. If that's going to be enough to allow the Anti-Clown Association to take a win here, that's of course a very different question. But already a bit of aggression is happening. Viriday is being pushed back here. They're making a play for Hanzo, and Kelsia goes down. He got Laubert right there. 1 minute mark hasn't even passed yet, and we already have a kill. So nicely played by the blue team, as they are starting to also demolish the wall at the bottom of the map, going straight for the first tower and also the gate. And thus far, at least 30k is again pulling ahead and doing a pretty nice job on this. Damn, they're destroying the entire wall. Everything's gone. That's also, by the way, the lane where we will see the first objective spawns. If they're able to get the first Punisher, then this should really help them quite a bit, because, well, with that, they're gonna murder that bottom fort for sure. Always assuming that they get the Punisher here. I mean, we're jumping ahead on this a little bit, obviously, but damn, good start for them. Get the kill, get the wall, and now the only question that remains is, can they build on that? Obviously, they already took the neutral Khazra camp. They will move towards the left to take their own now as well, which allows them to take 2 out of the 3. Level 4 kicks in a little bit sooner for them, so that's a nice benefit that they have as well on this. Get a slight advantage in experience. It's nothing too crazy, but when we're talking about the battle towards level 7 for the first shrine fight, then even small advantages really matter on this. So this is essentially what they're currently trying to pull off here. Varian, of course, is waiting for level 4 and has it now, so it's time to start with the taunts and hope for some of the follow-ups as part of what the entire composition is supposed to do in the first place. So if they're trying to now get their kills, or if they're able to do that, then they could very well start to pull ahead a bit, because they are looking for a kill comp. They want to go for snipes. They want to follow this up with quick moves on Blaze, ones that we're talking about 5 versus 5 battles. Then of course the root from Malfurion as well. And we'll see if that allows them to get a kill or 2, because that's essentially exactly what they need to do here in order to break through this aggressive setup that we're seeing from their opponents. But yep, time will tell. So, right now, 1 kill, 2-0 is all that we have. Okay, and the shrine is already up. So, party time right here. Let's see what we're gonna get with this one. At this point, it's just a little bit of a ping pong from Hogger. Hogger is just, when it comes to that, one of the silliest in the entire game. He's just ping ponging around all day, every day, and gets shrine minion stacks for his team. So working towards the objective. But, well, here comes the first kill opportunity, and Cure is low and gets killed towards the end, just as he was able, or was nearly able, to dash out and back to safety. But the blue team is already so far ahead when we're talking about the objective, then it's highly likely that Liam is going to lock that in eventually. They have 37 to 15, but we're not quite there yet. So 37 still. Even Muradin wasn't able to get anything done here. And Tremor gets taunted and killed. But Liam is moving in from the top, picks the Arcane Punisher up for the team, and is able to dash out. Deckard, with that taunt, would have been ready. then Deckard Cain might have been destroyed, but he's able to make it too. Now, as I explained before, the bottom wall has been opened up, so now the entire fort is exposed as the Punisher starts to move in, and that should allow them to, even with just a few heroes, aggressively push. But they've already split Hogger towards the top, so they are going to try to do some work there. And yeah, well, hopefully do a bit more damage, because down here, I gotta say, first objective doesn't really do too much. Half of the fort HP is gone under normal circumstances. Oh, damn. Hogger also going down. Apparently caught a little bit of guard by Sylvanas and her positioning, so oof, that's another kill. It's 3 kills now against 30k. Huh. Their chance for the ACA to actually take this. Another play made for Caterpillar this time. And yep, I mean, he is positioning himself more like a tank than anything else, I suppose. So easy times for Varian to jump in and take him down. And just like that, 30k is not only 3 kills behind, but also basically an entire level. And to make matters worse, they are in a really awkward spot now, because there's level 10 for the opponent. So I gotta say, this is starting to look a bit tricky. It's not really all that easy for 30k. Now they have to try and fight back here, and this is gonna be awkward to say the least. Because in their situation, what they gotta do is bridge the experience gap, not lose anything here. I guess they're losing the wall, which isn't too bad. This could have been way worse given the circumstances that they were in at the time. But still, a little bit of an awkward moment no matter how you're looking at it. So 30k definitely in a bit of trouble. They have to try and recover here. And Valamar pausing the game. So I'm not quite sure what happened over there. If the red team is having some serious troubles, if we have a few more disconnects coming through, or what exactly the reason for that is. But right now, when it comes to just game in general, they are looking pretty okay. Level 10 is kicking in any moment for the blue team, and then they can start fighting back here. This is, of course, also going to be applied to the next objective, which spawns in the middle. But yeah, 30k still has a bit of work to do if they want to bring this game back. It's not going to be too easy for them to do so. But given the fact that we're just now heading into heroic abilities, is still more than possible. Of course, it hinges a bit on how they perform during the next shrine fight. We're back, and we're going to go with level 10 for 30k. So apparently some bigger Discord issues on the side of the Anti-Clown Association. I actually don't even... I think it was God Filth or someone that had some problems. I'm not 100% certain. But they've been jokingly talking about how they're going to use in-game voice. I'm not sure if they really had to resort to that, but it sounded like they had some problems that were difficult to solve. Now, either way, we got Lul Nado and we have level 10 abilities now finally starting to kick in. And with that, off we go. Let's see what exactly they can pull off here. Also, while we had the break... Oh, wait, there's the taunt. They're trying to go for Muradin. Root on the ground, and Muradin has to pop Avatar. That's silenced as well. Use the Stormbolt. Should be able to jump out too. And damn, they're really going for the fight, aren't they now? Popping Odin and trying to chase him down. Caterpillar may be a little bit too trigger happy in his newfound role as a main DPS. Now that Tremor is playing the tank for the team. Objective gets announced but isn't there yet. And yeah, let's see. But during the break, Tim actually came also onto Twitch, Trixler, and it was kind of interesting because he shared a picture the other day. He apparently is on a vacation in Mexico and shared a picture of a cigarette pack, and he was super confused, not confused, but surprised and amazed by the fact that on cigarette packs in Mexico, they have the big warning label that, for example, cigarettes and smoking causes lung cancer. And people immediately responded that in most other countries, for example in Europe, you even have pictures of that, which is insanely disgusting and really is supposed to deter people from smoking and buying cigarette packs. And I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I'm not sure which country doesn't do that. From my personal experience, I mean, I don't smoke, so I don't know. But most countries seem to have not only warning labels, but also pictures on it by now. So I'm not quite sure which countries these days don't have any of these. And yeah, just have the normal packs without any warning labels or pictures. So it's actually kind of interesting there. Quick tether, Valamar in trouble, but gets killed by Deckard Cain. So, Deckard Cain is able to get the kill for them. That's only the second kill for 30k, but they are looking way better on the second objective now, as they moved in on it. So, we have, at this point, the lead again on the objective. It's not that big yet, but there's another taunt, and my F goes down. Legacy is also running out of mana very quickly over here, so that's a bit of a problem. But the blue team might still be able to claim the objective. At least Hogger is pogging like a madman. They're at 37 stacks, and with Caterpillar in Odin form, they should be able to claim it. And here comes the Mortar Punisher. So the team is jumping out. Legacy got lost, apparently. He moved straight into the middle of the shrine when everybody else was already starting to retreat. So for the second time in a row, we have the blue team with the victory on the Punisher. But then they are losing too many of their heroes. 13 versus 13 talents, but it is a little bit of a weird one, honestly. We find ourselves in this pretty awkward spot where, I mean, essentially what's happening is that 30k is doing well on the objective, but they're losing too many heroes. And it's definitely a concern in the sense that as the death timers increase over time, they are going to run into trouble. So we have to be a bit careful on how they are faring in the late game in particular. Right now, we haven't seen a single fort getting destroyed yet. Two have taken some damage. But suffice it to say that with them not only playing with the sub, but also having to go for a role swap because of it, there is a bit of an adjustment period on it. I assume this is going to get better. But right now, there are definitely moments where you can see that the coordination is a little bit off. This is the team that has been absolutely dominant thus far within the round robin, within the tournament. And I don't want to say that they're really struggling here, but you can tell that it's making things a bit more challenging. Now, Muradin has obviously now also a lot more survivability now that he has access to his synergy with the level 4 and the level 13 talent. So with healing static kicking in, he can really sustain himself through these team fights a bit further. One of the concerns for the blue team is definitely that experience lead that we're seeing for the Anti-Clown Association, who are looking at a potential level 16 talent advantage for a sizable timing window that could be used to force a fight, maybe even around the objective. Most likely the blue team is going to be able to catch up by then, but time will tell. It's all about Varian and him just moving in with another taunt, and the follow-ups that we've seen from the Anti-Clown Association have thus far been pretty alright. So they've been pretty solid going for these follow-ups and ensuring that everything is working well there. So time will tell how much more they can do in these circumstances. But by now we have level 16 on the board for the red team. Varian gets juked out a little bit by Q on my F. So job well done. Nicely played by him. That was actually pretty cool. And yeah, in the meantime, it's the blue team just falling back a bit and saying, okay, we need to get the experience, so let's not engage too aggressively into the middle of the map. Let's leave them a little bit more space and wait for our own level 16 talent to kick in so that we can play around that. So that's essentially what they're trying to do right now. We'll see how successful they're going to be with this. Next objective is going to spawn at the top lane and has now also essentially been announced. So we'll see what they can do here. But it will be interesting. It's going to be an interesting one from here on out. These are the fights that I would say matter a little bit more. And now that we are also looking at sizable death timers, of course, the blue team can't just simply sit there and say like, ah, alright, we're going to lose another hero or two. So they really got to buckle up and make sure that they're coordinating those fights properly. And then again, you're looking at it from the perspective of ACA, and they haven't won a single Punisher yet, so they would love nothing more than start the fight with a quick kill, and that's where Varian comes into play, looking for another taunt here. Already, Shockwave is out, but there it is! Hogger gets killed quickly. That's a big kill. Arrow against Tychus, and Caterpillar is about to fall. Even with all of the heals that he just received from Legacy, there's no chance for him to survive. And it's starting to turn into an utter disaster for the team. They're losing way too much here. Now that Deckard Cain went down as well, they're getting totally murdered. Maiev is gone. That's 4 heroes that get eliminated. And this is just a fantastic position for ACA to be in. The fort already gets destroyed. Blaze moves straight back onto the shrine. This is the frozen Punisher that they're now fighting over. And, I mean, the situation there is fantastic. Sylvanas gets killed by Muradin, so that's at least a bit of success for Tremor. But it doesn't change the fact. If Sylvanas would have been alive here, they could have maybe even gotten the keep. So this is definitely nice that she at least got killed to make sure that the push isn't as good as it could have been. But the first fort already got destroyed. Liam comes back, instantly dies again. Hogger is gone. Muradin barely jumped out. So the shit is hitting the fan, and it's hitting the fan hard. 30k is in serious trouble over here. I mean, in serious trouble. They are struggling on this. They haven't lost the game yet, but if you look at the kill count now, it's 11 kills to 3, and that gap in experience is just absolutely massive. We're talking about a huge gap, which will very likely also lead into a long time where they are fighting against a level 20 talent advantage on the red team side. And you can already tell that with 39 stacks, they simply abandoned the Punisher, and they're trying to get the experience now. Actually, they're still claiming it. I was honestly thinking that they would delay it further to try and get level 20, so that they can push with the level 20 advantage on the Punisher. And they're getting very close to it, but they could have delayed it a bit further, considering that nobody on the blue team was moving in on it. But yeah, Blaze is slowly making his way over. Up at the top, they're getting very close to level 20. I think this keep is going to fall no matter what. They should be able to take it out here. And this is exactly what they're currently trying to do. So start to make their move onto the keep. Sylvanas obviously is helping out as well. This might be the first map in this tournament that 30k loses. So they might lose this one. Things are definitely not looking too great. Punisher gets baited straight into the middle right now. So that's the first little move that they're making. The top keep has already been destroyed, and now they're making their play for the core itself, and things are looking really good for ACA. Maiev is dead. Cure got killed once again, and damn, they are really in trouble. There's level 20, of course, too. We have 41,000 damage for Hanzo now, and the core is losing hit points and is losing them quickly here. Maybe they can defend. I mean, 80% on the core. Punisher at least is gone. Kelsia tries to jump away. Hawkeye is gone. So is Deckard Cain. They kill Hanzo, but I think that's too little too late. Sylvana still dishing out the pain. 40%. Well, they lose Sylvanas. Varian is about to fall. 24%. Varian is still alive. 11%, and they just can't stop them. This is the lead. The first map that 30k loses in this tournament. Anti-Clown Association. They win Infernal Shrines. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Dragonshire is our second map. ACA has just won the first game, and well, it seems that what you need in order to make 30k lose is they have to play with Tremor. I feel a bit sorry for the guy, honestly. The team has won every single match so far without dropping a map. They played with subs, and then the second that he plays with them, all of a sudden they lose. Now, to be fair, there's also the role swap involved, and Caterpillar, at least in 1 or 2 fights, had still some tank positioning instead of trying to stay safe in the backline. But 30k just lost the first map in this tournament, and the Anti-Clown Association is obviously pretty happy about this. Now, there's 2 ways how this could go. Either 30k now gets completely trounced and they're like, yeah, whatever, we're still fine, we're in a great spot in the standings and it doesn't matter, we've won everything else, so we're good. Or they come back with a vengeance here. They at least get Lucio this time for Legacy. Deckard Cain didn't quite work out. We're heading now into Dragonshire, so Lucio to speed things up on rotations is already quite useful. We have Sylvanas banned out. That's actually one of the things that really surprises me that this didn't happen earlier, because the one thing that was very consistent every single time that ACA was playing is that they were trying to get Sylvanas. So her being addressed now makes perfect sense. We get Lunara also banned out. Teams obviously have some preference picks that a lot of the opponents have by now picked up on. But in some cases at least, it's still a bit strange that it takes this long heading into a series. Now we get Blaze, we get Diablo. Priorities on bans have of course shifted now slightly since we're not on Infernal Shrines anymore. We get Urel and we get Hanzo. I wonder if they are swapping things around a bit again, or how they're playing this now. Is Tremor maybe gonna fall onto a damage dealer and Caterpillar plays his main role, or are they going to play with the exact same roles that they showcased in game number 1? I mean, we'll find out. But first, we're getting the final bans for game number 2. And the red team is getting rid of Johanna. So, Jojo is out. Targeting the front line a bit. Muradin is still up. Could still be played again. But first, could ban out the support again. Could ban out another damage dealer, of course, too. And we target Roger a little bit as well here. And of course, you also have to consider that there's still some Genji Anduin plays potentially. If you're going for a light bomb engage, you could do that. Chromie gets banned. This is another one of those heroes that everybody tries to get rid of as well, just because she's so annoying and really just a pain to deal with, especially on Dragonshire, all of that range poke. But for Kelsey and his boys now on Dragonshire, what do we get? We have no globals, by the way. Falsa could still be picked, but we don't have any kind of Dehaka plays, for example, on this one. Greymane Uther now being taken. Divine Shield Greymane, when he gets absolutely unleashed in some of these team fights, can be a massive problem. There's a pretty annoying frontline too. We got Diablo Blaze against you, and then Greymane and Uther to back him up and dish out the damage here. It's actually a pretty sweet lineup that we're getting from the Anti-Clown Association as the blue team is finishing the draft off. But we still need to figure out, okay, what's the main tank for them? Are we just going Muradin again? Or Zagara? Oh, Caterpillar on Zagara. So we have Muradin for Tremor, second time in a row, and we get Caterpillar on Zagara. Not really a hero that I expected necessarily from him. So Cattle versus Zagara in game number 2. I wonder if he's able to keep her alive. I really do. I feel... Let's see if they're swapping. Genji comes in, so now you have Divine Shield on Genji or Greymane and Zagara for 30k. Oh, that could be a bit of a stretch. Dragonshire, ladies and gentlemen, map number 2. Let's head straight in. Game number 2, 30k is down 1 game in the best of 3 series. We have them on the left now with Cure on Hanzo. Tremor again on Muradin for the second time in a row. But with Legacy and Lucio, things start to get really interesting with Caterpillar on Zagara. So they didn't swap him onto a different hero. And he's really not a name that I would associate with amazing Zagara play. So either this is going to be a bit of a surprise, or he's going to struggle against the likes of Genji and Greymane. We got Liam on Urel, and on the right side of the map, the Anti-Clown Association with God Filth on Diablo. We have Kelsia on Greymane. Valamar is playing Blaze. We got Roger on Genji, and Veriday is playing Uther. More Discord issues for the red team, but apparently they were able to resolve it, so they seem to really have some problems there. They still won game number 1, so it can't be that bad. We have Soul Shield on the side of Diablo again. Yeah, and color me intrigued. So, let's see, Caterpillar, what are you up to? What you can pull off with Zagara? Is he secretly a specialist genius? That role got thankfully removed. But, yeah. Wasn't that the most hated role? Like, every single time when you were in a game and you had, like, someone that claimed he was a specialist main, those were immediately identifiable as the people that were the problem. People that were telling you all game long about how much siege damage they were doing. And just like never joining a team fight. Oh god, I hated them with a passion. Those Zagara and Zego players that were just simply sitting on the side lane the entire game and then just yelling at everybody about their siege damage. Absolutely annoying. I'm a specialist main. It's like, oh yeah, so you're special, alright. Just not in the way that you think you are, but yeah. The Gazlo mains. Oh god. Don't get me started on that. I'm helping. Look at my siege damage. Look at my siege damage. Oh god. We all had at least one game with one of these people, so yeah. Anyways, I'm very happy that they removed that role eventually. The heroes obviously still being around, but now people are not just single-mindedly focused on those. Now, either way, we're now having still a couple of creep tumors down at the bottom of the map. So they're currently still having some vision thanks to Caterpillar. I'm still having my eye on Greymane and Genji because those are going to be the two that will try and make their place for Zagara whenever they can. Now, in the meantime, we have, of course, the first camps being claimed. Greymane outside of him trying to go for Zagara eventually. He's also going to attempt to take some of the structures down here. Get him in walking form onto one of the towers and you're going to be good. But they are trying to safeguard those siege giants at the bottom of the map. So it's a bit of an aggressive position to move in the way that they do. But the whole idea was to keep the siege giants alive for as long as they possibly could and let them do lots of damage to that wall. They have to give up some of the map control, but they rotated Blaze in time to the top to catch all of the experience there. And of course they have still heroes in the middle to ensure that there's no problem with the Dragon Knight. So, yeah. Zagara still at the bottom of the map. They're gonna try and just push that out. If they can go for that split push prowess of her and counteract that. Pings are already happening, then even better. But they also have to take care of that creep spread a little bit. I mean, if you allow too much creep spread for Caterpillar, then eventually they're going to get mad value out of it. And 30k just locked in a Dragon Knight, so they just let this one slide. Apparently, ACA decided that they don't really care about it too much. Don't get me wrong, the early ones are not that powerful, they haven't scaled yet, but if you're just focusing on your ability cooldowns and use the Dragon's Breath to burn these minion waves down in some of the structures, then you're still gonna get decent value out of it. So giving that up for free, maybe not the smartest decision there. Now, Blaze goes down, which means that we have the first kill of this game against the red team. So 30k is definitely starting to find their stride a little bit here. They have now taken the lead in experience. They have also broken through the wall in the middle and started to damage the fort itself. Zagara is still alright at the bottom of the map. And things just generally are looking much, much better than they did in the last game. There's an immediate coordinated attack against Diablo as they're trying to take him down too. Oh, and they're getting Genji. 30k. Bit unleashed here. So not too happy with losing a map. The perfect record broken, but they still want to ensure that they win all of the matches in the round robin. And the creep spread has still not really been dealt with. That's honestly a bit of a concern, because again, decent creep spread is always a problem for the opponent. There's a lot of vision that's not granted here. I mean, look at this. They have all of this in clear sight, so for Caterpillar it's pretty decent. And I'm a bit shocked that nobody is trying to take these out more aggressively, because this is what I personally would have expected to happen. But currently we're having none of that. So, alright. I mean, either way, with all of that said and done now, we're having the wall at the bottom of the map essentially also destroyed, so they're doing a bit of work here. The blue team is now just trying to build on the advantages that they've already started to gain early on, and are doing as much as they can in order to get there. Now, we're already looking at Siege Giants about to be claimed again. We have 2 kills, 2-0 at this point in time. Towards the top, we have Valamar starting to slowly move in on all of this. So he's now again locked into that 1v1 battle that we have there. Kind of important to also note in that context that, of course, with all of the camps that are being taken by Greymane and others, they still have a bit of an edge when it comes to the solo lane and can push that out. But now level 10 abilities are kicking in for the blue team with that small window that they have where the opponent is lacking their heroics. They can't really force a fight. I suppose they could try with a Hanzo arrow and YOLO that out, but nobody is risking the cooldown here. Instead, we have a chance to maybe get the initial control over one of the shrines here in Dragonshire. We're going down to the bottom of the map. Genji zips out immediately and just starts to retreat. But now that the level 10 is ready, the red team is willing to fight, forcing Avatar out of Muradin. Divine Shield, Bullet, Lightning Breath and X-Strike for Genji. Those are the weapons that we're currently getting from them. And yeah, I mean, not too bad. So, still trying to see if they can get another Dragon Knight. And guys, they just did. This is the second time that the DK just gets claimed. So, I'm actually a little bit amazed how easily they get these Dragon Knights. It's like ACA just decided, you know what, we don't really like objectives. Objectives are meh. They're icky. Nobody wants to be a Dragonite here. Nobody wants to be a Lizard. So they're just letting that slide. Which means the Dragonite moves towards the top. YOLO's maybe a bit too hard here, but the play is the same. Play around the Dragon's Breath. They're splitting the rest of the team down to the bottom of the map to try and take at least one fort, maybe not completely out, but damage it. And the early game goes fully, fully to the blue team now. Massive lead for them, massive advantage over here. And I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit shocked. I'm really just waiting for the moment where ACA starts to play the way that they've done in the last game and, you know, just breaks out in team fights, gets some kills, and starts to also macro up on the objective, because currently they are not looking too impressive. After a victory in game number 1, I really expected a bit more, but so far none of that is happening here. So there's the double more. Can they follow up on that? Arrow! Nice! Beautiful hit! Greymane is gone. So they are able to get a kill against Greymane. That one was well executed. 3 kills to 0. And that more into a Hanzo arrow was absolutely spectacular. So the 3rd kill for them. Nearly a level lead at this point. Stormbolt straight to Genji's face. But the combo was definitely a sexy one. I like that. That was a nice play. So job well done. I mean, in the meantime, we're now having a bit more vision granted. Tremor's moving in, Cure is sitting tight. They're of course attempting now to steal some of the camps away from the opponent too. We have level 13 talents for both, so theoretically they could fight, and they want to fight. They're jumping in, they're taking up the gauntlet here, but the camp is already taken. The Siege Giants have been claimed. Blue team is falling back. 30k still in the driver's seat here. Another jump as Tremor is starting to make a bit of a move, hoping for that Stormbolt connect, which didn't manifest itself. But now the chance to go for some fort damage. And to be fair, there's not a single fort that has been destroyed yet. So despite all of the efforts and the 2 Dragonites that we got for 30k, they haven't been able to take a fort out. Now the party obviously continues over here, as you can tell. We have now with 3 kills to 0, more camps claimed, the next objective coming up. And I can just hope that right now we're having a little bit more... I mean, okay, please guys. They're losing control of both of the shrines right away. I was about to say that I hope that they have a bit more map awareness and don't just allow another Dragonite to be claimed. This is starting to become worrisome. They're losing a fort at the bottom of the map already, so they are still in trouble. The Blaze is finally retaking at the top. So at least there's not going to be another Dragonite anytime soon, but we have the bottom fort destroyed, and even Diablo was in danger for a moment. Stormbolt hits Genji. He's still going to be able to get out, but Urel is taking control at the top lane once again. And if anybody is moving into the middle now, they can just simply sneak this one. So Arrow is out. Double connect. They might try and get a play on Diablo, but Diablo and Greymane are both able to escape. Urel has to go to the fort and defend against the camp, which allows Blaze to retake the topside shrine. So no more threat of another Dragonite for the time being, but level 16 is getting very close for 30k. And once that they have that, they will have an advantage here. But Urel had to rotate into the middle. She's taking care of the top and the mid lane now, which means that she just doesn't have a chance against these 2-pronged attacks that we're seeing from ACA. So the top side fort falls as a result. Urel alone just not able to deal with that, and now she gets fully targeted here and might even fall. The cavalry is coming and trying to help out, but the ult has already been used. Here comes Muradin though. Level 16 talents as an advantage. Greymane isn't here, by the way, so this is a 5 versus 4 for a moment. And Blaze dies. Didn't even bunker up. Genji also in trouble. Roger hoping for the cooldown to save him, which it does. X-Strike to escape. The Maw is hitting Diablo, though. And if they still have a few CC tools, they might be able to take him on. But Uther's ready, drops the Divine Shield, and saves the day for the Lord of Terror. Yeah, and that's another Dragonite for Liam. Topside Fort is about to get destroyed even without his help, so he could now move straight into the middle. The red team at least is level 16, so that helps them, I suppose, with the defense. But we haven't seen a single kill yet for the Anti-Clown Association, and they're losing more ground with every single play that is being made in this game. So things are tough. Currently, we have 16,000 damage for Greymane, 35,000 for Hanzo. Last fort is destroyed and is gone. Another arrow from Hanzo. Maybe now a chance to go for Kelsia. And yep, they take down Greymane. 5 kills to 0 by now. Dragonite is still alive and kicking. And Liam fires off one Dragon's Breath after another. So, job well done. Neatly played, and boy oh boy is the red team in trouble now. It looked very promising after game number 1. It really looked like they would be the ones to maybe even dominate the series and take it 2-0, capitalizing on the fact that 30k has to play not only with a sub, but also go for a role swap as a result. And now in game number 2, the entire momentum that the ACA had in game number 1 has not only evaporated, but completely been flipped on its head. So we have forts destroyed, keeps exposed, walls taken down, and yeah, things are looking very, very good for them right now. But, well, there it is. The big chance for 30k to pull farther ahead. They go for Diablo. Avatar Muradin at the last second possible. Barbecue play, but he jumps out. The Maw gets used right away as a counter. And they get an arrow on Genji, who is gonna die to Lucio. Yep. Lucio chases them down. Genji doing a great job initially, trying to escape here, but Lucio just a bit too fast for him. So Genji gets eliminated. He needed healing, didn't get any. And now, since multiple of their heroes also had to hearth back, we have Siege Giants traveling through the bot lane. The fort, the keep is already super low, and they can maybe now take the entire thing down here. They should be able to. 1.5 level of an advantage. Level 19 versus level 17. The keep destroyed, and boy, oh boy, is ACA in trouble. They are experiencing some real pain here, and yeah, good luck trying to bring this game back. Blaze is gone, so they're losing heroes just all over the place. 7 kills to still 0, so no counter kill yet. And I right now just don't see it, to tell you the truth. How are you gonna try and bring this one back? Nearly impossible, if you ask me. I don't see a way for them to bring this back here. So can they maybe somehow make a play, win a team fight? But think about what we're asking here. They haven't gotten a single kill yet in the entire game, and we are essentially asking, hey, can they maybe now that the opponent has a level 20 advantage, can they maybe now go for like a full 5-man wipe or something to get back into the game? And I just don't think that's going to be possible. That's going to be another Dragonite for sure. And then the question is simply whether 30k is going to attempt to play for the core, or if they are going to be happy just moving in for another keep to gain more map control overall. Could have rotated towards the middle immediately. Haven't done that yet. Really timing this. They also want to have the camp at the bottom of the map. One of the reasons why the bot lane is obviously so important here is that you have so many camps. So they're taking the camp, they're getting the Dragonite, and it seems like the idea is to try and end the game here. With a level 20 advantage, why wouldn't you go for it, right? So they're going to make some moves here. They're going to try to end game number 2 and force the 3rd map of the series to make us go the distance on this one. And ACA, they will try to somehow stop them. But as I said before, I just don't see how. This is going to be way too tough. So here we go. Barbecue play already to try and burn us down a bit. We have 2 camps plus a catapult, then the Dragonite, the level 20 advantage. They're already going for Diablo. Melt him away as the Divine Shield saves him. The shield is nearly gone. The Dragonite gets attacked quickly and loses hit points, but the core is already down to 70% of its HP. And this is essentially game. I mean, at this point, with Diablo gone, with Greymane, Uther, everybody just dead or dying, it is undeniable that 30k will force game number 3 in this series. Job well done. They're bringing it back with a vengeance as the Anti-Clown Association is defeated on Dragonshire. GG. Third map of the series, Tomb of the Spider Queen. 30k coming back with a vengeance in game number 2. Claiming victory, making a bit of a statement there as well. I honestly got a bit worried for them. Well, again, we are essentially on the final play day of the round robin, so 30k, no matter what happens here, is going to find themselves in a great spot. But of course, for them, it would have been nice to finish the round robin without losing even a single map. But it seemed after map number 1, like this series would just be a little disaster for them. Like things wouldn't flow with the role swap that they had to go for, with Tremor subbing in for Madara here. But they came back in game number 2 and are clearly aiming to win the series. So now that we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is, by the way, a map choice made by the blue team, we'll see if they can pull that off, or if ACA is now moving into the third map of the series with some newfound vigor and able to clutch out a victory after all. Supports are again being targeted, so we have Lucio banned out, we have Brightwing banned. It's kind of funny to me also that ACA is just running down the time there a bit. Apparently putting a lot of thought into what they are trying to get rid of. And since this is Tomb of the Spider Queen, we have we have Hanzo banned out. I would assume that, sorry, we have Hanzo. We have Junkrat banned out, but I assume that Hanzo is also going to be either banned or picked. He offers too much here. Chromie is another candidate. Everybody that gives you vision and long-range poke is generally nice in Tomb of the Spider Queen. Johanna as a main tank is fantastic here. So heroes that I suppose will be addressed in some way, shape or form are Chromie, Hanzo and Johanna. Those would be your usual suspects right now, also given the fact how these games have been flowing so far. On the side of the Anti-Clown Association, another candidate is of course Sylvanas. I've been talking earlier about how Roger in particular is playing her all the time, and there she is, gets picked very, very quickly. So Sylvanas is their first pick, even prioritizing her over any of these other picks. And now I would think that Jojo gets taken. Tremor is in a position where he's played Muradin twice now, which is a fine tank, but also someone that doesn't fit as well on Tomb of the Spider Queen as on other maps. So, yeah. No, Diablo. Diablo Urel. Really nice combo, don't get me wrong. But traditionally for Tomb of the Spider Queen, you see a very high focus on Johanna. That extra wave glare that she has, and also the interrupt that you get with your shield glare is pretty fantastic. So, Tremor on Diablo, Liam on Urel. Very nice combo for them. Very powerful. But how does the red team now react? There's Johanna, and we get Malfurion. So, that leaves us with essentially 2 heroes that I predicted, and that's Chromie and Hanzo that still need to make an appearance here. I guess we could also see bans on them, but normally when you're playing on Tomb, you would expect them to get picked. When it comes to side lane for the Anti-Clown Association, that's gonna get a bit more interesting. I guess Leo is a very good option for them, so they could go Johanna and Leoric here. Hogga is still available, so he's another choice that is possible. And since Leoric gets banned, Hogga becomes a bit more likely now. So Leoric gets indeed addressed, but not as a pick. He comes through as a ban. And now the main question is what the Anti-Clown Association is trying to get rid of on the other side. With Diablo and Urel, I guess it's going to be some of the damage dealers that they're dealing with. I don't know if anybody actually plays Chromie over here besides Madara. Normally Madara would be the Chromie player, so she might be one of the heroes that doesn't make an appearance here after all, because Madara is not playing today. Maiev, yeah, they're getting rid of Q's hero. But that's actually a good point. I'm not sure if the Anti-Clown Association themselves are going to go for Chromie, but I think it's a bit unlikely that we're going to see her from 30k. So, yeah, that's that. I would still expect Hanzo. But let's see. Could be picked now. Caterpillar, of course, has to also likely play again a damage dealer. So let's see what he's gonna take. Tacita and Anduin. Interesting. Okay, Caterpillar is going for Tacita here. So many heroes that I would have just never thought Cattle would play. That role swap is mega interesting. It's actually kind of fun. And then over on the red team side, so what are we getting from them now? Is Hanzo going to be picked here? Is Cure going to pick him late? Or is he just going to be completely neglected on this? They're Panda and Hanzo. Hanzo's in the house and we get Chen on the side lane instead of the possible Hogger play. So Chen is in the house. And that leaves us with Cure as the final pick for game number 3. The deciding map in this series in the round robin of HGC 2024. The Hanzo Genji Cup. So, come on Cure. What's the weapon of choice next to Tacita to take down the Anti-Clown Association and win the series? And the answer is, it's Tracer. Here gonna zip around. We're heading into Tumor Spider Queen. It is match point. Let's see which team decides the series in their favor. Game number 3, 30k on the left with Cure on Tracer. We got Liam and Urel. Legacy is playing Anduin. Caterpillar on Tacita. Tremor is playing Diablo. And over on the right side of the map, the Anti-Clown Association with Kelsey on Hanzo, Valama on Chen, Roger on Sylvanas, Very Day on Malfurion, and Godfilth is playing Johanna. So it's party time. On level 1, we're getting the Cyan Fusion here for Tacita. We're also looking at Zealous Glare on Jojo. Every single time I read that talent name, I have to think about Smexy. The good old Smexy Glare. They should have honestly named a talent on a hero after him. That would have been kind of funny. And absolutely deserved. The only man that was able to stare down a camera in Heroes of the Storm in the days of HGC. So, AoE is definitely present. We got quite a bit of that. So the poke is already happening here in the middle of the map. Tremor on Diablo this time. Which I honestly kind of like. And again, the pause. Jesus, guys, come on. This is the 3rd time in a row now that at the beginning of the game, they're pausing it because they have their Discord problems. Really, you couldn't solve that in the break or something. I mean, this is way too predictable right now. So, yeah, Anti-Clown Association, again with Discord issues apparently. This time happening even before the 4th-minute mark. So, let's hope that it's at least quickly resolved. Alright, so the clowns are back and they're not funny today. But I have to at least give him that. It wasn't a Discord problem this time, so Valamar apparently disconnected for a whole lot of 3 or 4 seconds, and then he was back in the game. Given the fact that we're only 30 seconds in, that makes sense, but yeah, no Discord problems. But they have some issues. I mean, every single game it's something. So let's hope that at least in this one, we're not gonna have any Discord problems. That would have been nice. I mean, down at the bottom of the map, Cure zipping around right now. Nothing too insane happening here, just like the traditional rotations of everyone in an attempt to get into a halfway decent position here. We're also having them now moving down towards the first camp, so trying to get the Siege Giants here and claim those. Yeah, might be able to make a couple of nice, neat little moves here. But the aggression is coming from the blue team as they're saying, you know what, boys, you're not the only ones who want to take a camp, so let's try and fight for this one. And who takes it? It is 30k. They claim the camp, hoping for more here, but not quite able to get more than that just yet. I mean, can always obviously attempt to also go for a kill here, but you don't want to greed too much. If you have to follow your opponent too deep, let's say in the tower range or anything like that, then it's oftentimes highly likely that you end up losing some of your heroes instead, and you kind of want to avoid that for good reason, of course. So, as it stands, we have a bit of a leading experience. We have to push through the bottom of the map. Tacita is sitting in the middle, just using all of the AoE in the wave clear, as the team is starting to gather up a couple of gems and turns them in very quickly, which I can always appreciate. Always like when a team is very diligent, turning in their gems and not risking losing them as they keep fighting and potentially dying. So now we have already 18 delivered. They have another 23, and Cattle holds 14 of those and is currently making that turn-in happen. So they're getting closer and closer to another turn-in. Also a bit ahead of their opponents on this one. Now the camp is getting taken over on the right side of the map. So they're starting to make a bit of a play right here. We have the Panda down at the bottom of the map. So Valamar jumping around pretty quickly on this with Fat Illidan. Let him eat cake. So, yep, Chen is jumping, just backing up. I actually think that we should see more fights on the side lane with Chen against Illidan. That would honestly be a proper battle. So the two of them, that would be a really nice 1v1. We need to make this happen a bit more often. That would be quite entertaining, I think. At least for the audience, maybe not for the two of them. Level 6.5, looking at level 7, and also the first turn-in is now possible for the blue team, but the red team is only 1 gem behind, so we're also going to get that very, very quickly, and then the question is who gets the first set of web weavers. With Roger again on Sylvanas, there's a chance that they are, of course, now going to start making a play with her. Good pull from Anduin. That's a nice thing when you're playing Diablo and Anduin too. If Anduin knows what he's doing, then you can always find yourself in a position where Diablo just goes aggressive, goes real deep, and starts to attack, because he always knows that there's going to be someone behind helping him out and pulling him back out of trouble if he goes a bit too far. But it makes it very aggressive in regards to the playstyle, and always a huge problem for the opponent's team when Diablo can just make these moves. Then on top of that, you add Tassadar, who can set these walls up to allow Diablo quick stuns into the walls, and you have a very dangerous combo at your opponent's side. Diablo doesn't have to be afraid engaging. Tassadar can tee him up perfectly for another wall stun, and they are trying to use those dynamics in the early game here. Also zoning opponents out quickly from those web weavers, destroying the wall at the top. Urel basically destroying everything at the bottom of the map as well. So they're not really getting any serious damage in on those forts, but they are able to open 2 of the walls up. And this is still a very early objective. We have still not seen a single kill on the other hand, so no kills have happened just yet. And as I say it, the bomb connects, and there it is. Kill number 1. Hanzo is the one to fall, and this was a nice one. So Hanzo goes down, gets quickly destroyed over here, and then the idea, of course, of using the numbers advantage on the map to freely take the camp, claim those siege giants, already slightly ahead, and also try and interrupt your opponent's turn-in, so that you can potentially get your second one before they get the first, and maybe even get a few more kills and deny additional gems to them. Not too much that was lost yet by ACA. Now gets attacked again. Anduin should be totally fine here, and whoop, there's the zip. The second that we're getting the root on the ground from Malfurion. So, Diablo is fully stacked now, has the souls ready, and they're about to hit level 10. 39 gems in their hands, 22 on Caterpillar alone. And Sylvanas definitely needs to get out of that spot, because with 34 gems in her hand, if she falls and they can't recover them, they're going to be in trouble. We got Archon for Tassadar as the talent, so goes for the transformation here. Lightning Breath for Diablo. Urel currently going for the next camp. And got Filth again trying to turn in here. Gotta be careful, specifically with Sylvanas. As I already said, she gets attacked, Light Bomb, and that's the end of her. They're trying to recover the gems. God Filth is moving in deep, is immediately getting targeted, has 59 gems now. They lost some, but they didn't lose all. But the problem, of course, still remains more or less the same. Now more of the gems are consolidated on a single hero, and as long as the blue team keeps their eyes on Johanna, they should be fine dealing with the objective here. So it is a bit difficult now for ACA to get their objective done. Especially since the blue team has, of course, used that opportunity to take their next turn in. And that's another set of web weavers that the Anti-Clown Association will have to deal with now. So, yeah, good luck on that. Already Chen just barreling out here, trying to get away. As we have Tassadar, Legacy, and the rest of the team waiting for web weavers, and then starting to make their move towards the middle. Maybe at the bottom of the map, because they're already pressuring Valamar here. They want that fort. Some assistance is coming. Godfield has 61 gems right now. Another 40 and he gets the secret mount. Oof, he's getting dangerously close here. So, yep, they gotta keep their eye on him. He's about to lock in the 100. There's the light bomb engage. Blessed shield essentially missing. Malfurion is gone. That's the third kill. They go for Chen. Valamar in some trouble. Tries to get away here. Might be able to escape. Fat Illidan with a jump, and he gets out. But the fort at the bottom of the map has already been destroyed. Now they're moving into the middle to take another one apart. That's 2 forts gone. That's a great second objective for them. Lots of momentum for the blue team. We have them closing in on level 13. 20,000 damage for Tracer. Behind Hanzo, who's on 22k. But still, huge difference between the two teams right now, considering that one of them is fully dominant on those turn-ins, has already accomplished 2, has destroyed multiple heroes on the other side, and forts to boot. So, yeah, looking exceptionally good. I mean, either way, level 13 talents are now in. That gives us also the boots for Anduin. And with 28 gems in their hands, we're only halfway to another turn-in for the blue team. But they're taking the camps on the map as Liam is moving onto the Siege Giants down at the bottom of the map, for example. So he's coming in here. And they are, again, delivering the gems that they have. So they are always ensuring that no matter what happens here, they are turning in when there's an opportunity. Safeguard those gems. Make sure that if you die, you're not going to lose too much. One of the best ways to play on Tomb of the Spider Creed, in my opinion. So now we have still got Phils with 65 gems. And again, the situation is still the same. As long as they keep their eyes on Johanna, they are in a decent spot. And this is what they are going to do time and time again. Keep your eye on her. Another light bomb engage. And bam, Malfurion is dead again. Here comes the barbecue. 65 gems are down the drain, more or less. Kelsia recovered some. And... Cure's alive! And the kill! That's the end of Hanzo! The Panda moves in. They still lost a few more of the gems. Roger's trying to get a couple, but can't. 50 have been recovered by Valamar, but this is just an utter disaster. This is exactly the problem. It's amazing that Cure survived, by the way. He was so close to dying, but somehow made it out. Now we have 6 kills to 0. A 2-level advantage. They're still guarding some of the turning points here with Diablo. But they are down to 67 gems in their hands. So the boss gets taken by the blue team. And it's just rough. It's really a rough game now for the Anti-Clown Association. They've turned in 27 of their gems. They're recovering some of the gems every single time that a hero falls, but it's just not nearly enough. And they lost way too many over the course of the game already. The boss is likely going to take down the fort at the top lane now. And what's worse is that we are getting closer and closer to another turn-in for 30k. So they are hoping, with that level 16 talent advantage that they now secured for themselves, to just continue the same style. Liam should probably turn in. He's currently holding 20. So should try and get rid of those. And they have enough to get that full turn-in. So he retreats to the turn-in point, and they're going to get another set of Web Weavers. Topside fort, by the way, still standing. So the boss was a bit too early in the game. Not strong enough yet to take it down by himself. But it will fall down. It is definitely going to fall as they're moving in with their 3rd Web Weaver set. 3 in a row. 3 sets of Web Weavers in a row for 30k. And ACA has to try and somehow defend against this. And, I mean, good luck. Hanzo might still be the top damage dealer in the game. But the rest of the blue team, they are just waiting to catch up here with a few more kills. Only one that hasn't died yet on the side of the Anti-Clown Association is Fat Illidan. He's the only one that hasn't fallen yet. So everybody else has died at least once. Now they're trying to open the walls on those keeps, and at the bottom they've already started that job earlier with one tower being destroyed. Uralis going in deep, also pulling Roger towards the top, who was trying to defend at the bottom of the map, but they're breaking through the middle as the Web Weaver has now taken out the top fort. They are going for keeps though, that's the whole idea here. Sylvanas is defending at the bottom of the map, but here in the middle, this is where most of the action is currently playing out, and it seems like this keep is going to fall. At the bottom of the map, it's also taking some damage, but not enough just yet. But they're really pushing for this one, and I just don't see ACA being able to defeat this. So they are rotating down now. They are hoping to get even to 30k, building up more and more momentum. And while this keep down here might not fall, it still takes damage. So things are looking, once again, absolutely stellar for 30k. Now, they have 27 gems. They can still be turned in. 87 gems in the hands of their opponents. Just to give you guys a bit of an idea. I mean, overall, in play for the red team, now how many gems? Let's say 120, roughly. Roughly 120 gems. On the other side, we already had nearly 200 gems in play. So an 80 gem difference between the two teams, which is pretty massive. This just shows you what you can do with a couple of kills. and just denying your opponent turn-in. So always try and deliver those gems whenever you can. Now that 16 is ready, ACA is making their move. They've been playing passive the entire time because they didn't have level 16 talents. Now that they do, they're going to try and make their plays here. So we're going to see them start going on the attack. They're going to start making some overtures towards the turn-in point, all in the attempt to slowly get back into the game. And Web Weavers would be the first big step. And they get the turn-in finally. Valamar turns in. So 14 minutes into the game, we have for the first time a turn-in for ACA. They get Web Weavers. Better late than never, I suppose. But can they do anything with it? This, by the way, down here at the bottom of the map. Web Weavers, are they going to spawn in time? And yeah, not really. That keep is still taking a decent amount of damage right now. So might even... Nah, the keep is not going to fall. The Web Weaver is going to save it. But that lane is also not going to do anything. So yeah, this guy is the next problem here. So for now, what we're getting is just the defense at the top and in the middle. Blue team is going to try to ensure that they're not losing anything, that they can hold on to as much as possible in this situation. The Web Weaver in the middle breaks through the wall, but the fort will not be destroyed. That fort is definitely still going to be standing after this push is over. 30k is not going to give this up, nor should they. Bottom Web Weaver has already been defeated. The one at the top has also not really done a whole lot. So they bought themselves a little bit of time. They bought themselves a little bit of space here, but that was about it. Now that level 20 is kicking in any second for 30k, they can start and push for another turn in. They're still 15, 16 gems away from getting a fourth one, but they can already deliver the gems that they're holding and get a little bit closer to the action on this. Light bomb engage attempt once again. Yeah, arrow. Oh my god, that one is going absolutely nowhere. Narrowly missing the target as the rest of the team is going for Diablo's barbecue. Yeah, everybody's invited, specifically Sylvanas. Blessed shield is out, got filth, got no hit points, and that is the gems down the drain. Level 20, really powerful talent to have, of course. The boss at the top is getting attacked. Now they have nearly enough gems for another turn-in, so they can work on that. Get the turn-in, get the boss, try and go for game, and try and end it all right here, right now. So things are looking extremely good for 30k. Game number 1 definitely didn't go too well. They played with the sub, they had to go for a role swap. Things didn't really flow very well for them. The draft didn't work in their favor either. Couple of growing pains, I assume, and the lack of initial coordination, but once that were headed into game number 2, things were starting to get much better for them. And yeah, they're looking great now. 8 kills to 0. ACA is still waiting for their first kill. This is essentially where we are right now. Not even a single kill for ACA just yet. Web Weavers are getting timed with the boss, so that's the play that they're currently trying to make here. Time that as best that you can. Diablo is engaging again and looking for another wall stun. This time they're trying to bully Johanna around a little bit. And successfully, as she gets stunned out for a moment, got filth. Arrow this time connects. A bit of short distance, but still. 55,000 damage, by the way, for Tassadar. Still behind Hanzo, who's already knocking onto the 60k here. But with Web Weavers now at the bottom of the map, threatening to destroy another keep, the boss doing the same up at the top, things are getting worse and worse and worse for ACA. They're still waiting for kill number 1. Might never actually get it in this game, as the core has cleared the next target. Now Hanzo is destroyed, doesn't stand a chance. Jojo is on the run, got filth, barely escaping. They're getting absolutely rolled over here. No chance for ACA. They're going to lose this game. They're going to lose the series. After initially taking the lead in the best of 3, they're losing 2 in a row. Nice comeback from 30k. They might not be undefeated anymore in this round robin, but they have won every single match. GG, well played.